What a day yesterday, for us. Wasn't many stake races. We had Tactical Mounds, who we are hopeful for. My God, what kind of a mile was that? 149.4 is rarely achieved by a trotter. It's done. It's been done. It'll be done again. But it will always remain a very difficult feat to accomplish. And for a 4-year-old trotting mare to do it, that was thoroughly impressive. Last night, man, oh man, I sent James a message. I said, way to ruin my day. I won with Kings County. I was happy. Tactical Mounds won. I was very happy. And then you went and stole all the thunder. Obviously, I was joking. Congratulations to my brother. He works. I have to say it all the time. I've said this story a million times. I wrote a big, long thing on Facebook today about where we came from, right? The population of the little town, if you call it that we came from, literally a stretch of road, is 1,100 people today. When we grew up, it would have been half that. And to have Mark McDonald and James McDonald come from that household, and I hesitate to use my name. I've done plenty, but nowhere near what they've done, and it's so surreal to know that the 3 kids that came from a little house with a couple of horses, a goat, and cats and dogs in the middle of nowhere in a little island in Canada, Prince Edward Island, ended up making such a splash on such an industry that means so much to all of us. And I was done my videos yesterday. I was just going to post them, and that was that. Obviously, I can't talk about Kentucky. It hasn't raced yet. Can't talk about Ohio tonight. But I thought that I would get our videos out to everybody, and I'm going to get them out momentarily to you. But I wanted to take the time on a Sunday morning to reflect, right? Not reflect about my life or our summer. You guys know I've been talking about that enough lately. But just to reflect in general about my family and how unlikely it is that 3 kids from that little place ended up being where they are, and just so proud for my brother last night. I talk about all the times that I miss moments, right? I think everybody does. It's inevitable. I don't think you're so focused on getting the job done that you don't realize what you're going to do once it's done. If you do get the job done, if you do hit that home run, or you do hit that shot, or get that touchdown, I don't think anybody really thinks about how they're going to celebrate or how it's going to make them feel, because they're so focused on getting it done. And I felt that way for James last night. I know James takes nothing for granted, right? If you know the history of James and where he came from and how he became James McDonald, it is astonishing. Very similar story to another kid that I talk a lot about in Scotty, right? Now, Scotty had Rick as his foundation, right? Tremendous horseman. Anything you'd want to learn about horse racing, driving and training at the time, I'm sure he could have got from Rick, but never really delved into horse racing until he was almost 20, I think. And then you have James, same type of thing. James went to school, right? Never followed in Mark and I's footsteps, never brushed a horse till he was almost 20. And here you have 2 of the most dominant drivers in the industry right now. Obviously, I'm biased. One's my brother and a good friend of mine. I'm well aware that, Tim Dietrich's there, and Yannick is there, and a host of others. But I've also watched the industry pass people by, right? My brother Mark is still a tremendous driver. But the industry kind of leaves guys like him behind, right? Brian Sears, one of the best drivers ever. I've heard 4 people say, "Where's Brian Sears at this year?" The guy is one of the best ever. And this industry just rolls right over top of anybody. And it must have been so hard for somebody like John Campbell to walk away knowing that his career was sliding and wanting to keep intact what John Campbell represented. I guess from a business standpoint, the brand of John Campbell, the person he was. For him to just say, wake up one day and say to his wife, Paula, hey, I think I'm all done. It's impressive in its own right. So a day of reflection. I don't need to beat the drum of the stable this morning. You guys know we've been doing great. I was so pleased with the way the horses have raced so far this summer. Now, we didn't win the Meadowlands Pace last night, but we did have a trotting mare winning 49-4, and that doesn't happen every day. And on the regional scene, we've got a great run. I was so pleased to see, a horse that's done so well for us in Kings County win yesterday. I sent James a message. I said to him, thanks. The storyline of yesterday, I was pretty happy with Kings County. Between you and Tactical Mounds, it came in just above Dominion's third and Georgian Talons. It's a great game. It's a wonderful game, and one that we've all fallen in love with. Many of you feel the same way. So happy for James. Happy for James and Paige and Casey and Anthony Beaton. Happy for him too. Really happy for him. So, as I said, today I'm optimistic. We have a busy day ahead of us. Meadowlands Pace was last night. That's forever ago in the news cycle of horse racing, it appears. We have a lot going on in Kentucky. I'm on my way into the barn. I'm going to jog Mountaineer Prince so that I can train him tomorrow. He's going to get back on track one way or another. There was somebody else I wanted to jog today too. Forget who. It's 11 o'clock now. With all the time in the world. Going to go in, jog Mountaineer Prince and see how he feels. Get a read on him so that we can train him up. Maybe go a quarter of a mile with him on Monday, and he may make the truck to the Meadows on Tuesday. Who knows? I don't know yet. For a schooler. Nah, you know what? There's no need of that. He can go Thursday at Northfield Park. That's what we'll do with him. So I'm thoroughly pleased with the way things are going. So excited and happy for my brother and my family. If you read my post on Facebook, my parents, my dad obviously is boisterous when you put a microphone in front of his face, but very humble, very quiet people. And, to come from literally a road. Like, I Googled population of Kingston, Prince Edward Island. Kingston, Prince Edward Island, when I was a kid, was from the bottom of the hill to the stop sign at the end of the road. There was no encompassing areas or streets. It was one road that drove through. Now, obviously, it's got a little bigger now, but not much. It's only 1,100. And they have, again, this isn't about me, but they have two of the better drivers that have won. You think about it. Mark won the North American Cup and the Meadowlands Pace, the Little Brown Jug. Only thing I can do to maybe even try and keep pace with them is to win the Hamiltonian someday. Mark has won everything. James has won everything. The trophies, metaphorically sitting, theoretically sitting in that house it's immense. It all came from this little place in this little town in the middle of nowhere in a tiny province in Canada. So for those of you who may not know your Canadian geography, Google it. Prince Edward Island is a pretty small place. When I was running in politics in Guelph, the town I was running in, Guelph, the population was almost identical to the entire province I came from when I was a kid. So a big win for Prince Edward Island, a big win for Islanders everywhere. Canadians last night. I loved how DRF put that column out, about the last time a Canadian-based driver won the Meadowlands Pace was 37 years ago. Well, here's a little history for everybody. Jim Doherty, Bill O'Donnell, John Campbell, Mike Lachance, Luc Ouellette, all those people are Canadians. Mark McDonald. We've had a pretty good run in the Meadowlands Pace as Canadians go. And as far as Maritimers go, one of the guys I looked up to when I was a kid, Bill O'Donnell from Nova Scotia. Oddly enough, so is Anthony B. So, a very reflective morning. Had nothing to do with our barn. I just wanted to talk about how proud I was of my brother, how proud I was of my family, and what doesn't get talked about enough, how proud I am of where I'm from and how I was raised by my parents. And that means a lot more to me now as a 47-year-old man raising 3 kids of my own with my wife Amy than much of the other stuff. And that is definitely worth thinking about. So I will talk to all of you very soon. Hopefully we have a great day today. We have a ton of stake racing in Kentucky and Ohio. So excited. A little bit on edge, but so excited to see how it all unfolds tonight. It's been a great summer. I hope we keep it going. And again, congratulations to James, Paige, most importantly, the McDonald family.